Hi, I am a Masters level player and basically an Ahri one-trick. I made an Ahri discussion/guide for patch 10.21b, but I was only Diamond 4 at that time. With all the recent patches, and with me playing a good deal more of Ahri games and ranking up to Masters, I feel I understand the comp better. I thought this would be a good time to make an updated guide. This is a more comprehensive guide than my last video. It will cover units, the comp, early/mid game, late game, items, and positioning. It is 100% possible to force Ahri every single game, as that is literally what I do. Also, Ahri hasn't been a contested comp since 10.21b, so hitting Ahri 2 is super easy. The item components that you prioritize are also different from basically every other meta comp, so hitting perfect items is very feasible. Even though she isn't contested, Ahri is still an extremely strong comp that can win lobbies and easily top 4s them. Even if you don't want to force Ahri every game like me, understanding the comp and adding it to your repertoire will make you a better TFT player. The most important units of an Ahri comp are Ahri, Sejuani, Aatrox, and Yuumi. Sej and Aatrox give you frontline and CC, allowing your Ahri time to cast. Yuumi gives pretty good healing throughout the entire game, plus her ult and the spirit trait both allow Ahri to cast faster if you position Yuumi correctly. The key 5 costs to look out for are Zilean and Azir, followed by Lilia. Here are some examples of strong endgame comps. The best Chosens for this comp are Chosen Mage Ahri, Chosen Vanguard Sej or Aatrox, Chosen Spirit Ahri. Following those, the Chosen Mystic Yuumi or Cassio isn't bad if the lobby is heavy AP damage. Otherwise, any 5 cost Chosen will do. If you have a Chosen Mage Ahri, or a Mage Spat, which you always want to put on Zilean, then you want to run 3 mages. If you don't have a Chosen Mage Ahri, or a Mage Spat, don't bother fitting 3 mage trait unless you are level 9 and have room for it. In my experience, the best start for Ahri comps is Sharpshooters with either Brawler or Vanguard frontline. This provides the easiest transition into late game Ahri carry. Teemo is also one of the best Ahri item holders, but Nidalee works as well if you can't find Teemo. As you start leveling, add minor synergies such as Spirits, 4 Vanguards, 3 Warlords, 4 Sharps, 2 Keepers, etc. Play around the Chosens you hit. If you hit a Chosen Vanguard Hecarim, then 4 Vanguards is a good addition. If you hit a Chosen Nidalee Sharpshooter, 4 Sharps is good. If you hit Chosen Warlord Jarvan, then running a Nidalee for 3 Warlords is good. You get the idea. It's also fine to just splash in strong standalone units such as Chosen Pyke, Chosen Zed, Chosen Jax, etc. I will almost always pre-level to 4 at 2-1 the first PvP round. Pre-level to 5 at 2-4 after the first carousel. Level to 6 at 3-2 the second round after Krugs. Level to 7 at 4-1. Level to 8 at 5-1. Then, based on my gold, HP, and board, I decide whether I can level to 9 or if I just stay at 8 for the whole game. Based on this leveling schema, the entire goal of the early/mid game is to survive until you level to 7 or 8, because most of the comp is 4 and 5 costs. This means you have to understand how to play the strongest board and how to transition, and this is the hardest part of playing Ahri comps properly, in my opinion. After Wolves, level to 7 and roll as necessary. This means if you have a strong board that will let you hit level 8 without losing too much health, you don't need to roll. But if you have a weak board that is going to lose every round until 5-1, then you 100% should roll. Since 4-cost Chosen odds are now much lower at level 7, don't sell your Chosen if you have a good 2 or 3 cost Chosen, such as a Chosen Sharpshooter Teemo that's carrying your Ahri items. But a Chosen Brawler Maokai, for example, should be sold if you decide to roll, since you will likely find a better 2 or 3 cost Chosen that will carry you until you level to 8 at 5-1. You rarely need to roll all your gold here, unless you have the weakest board ever. Merely roll until you are stable relative to the rest of the lobby, since you want as much gold as possible when you roll down at level 8. It takes some skill and experience to recognize when you've rolled enough and your board is strong enough to stabilize. Once you hit 5-1 and level to 8, you want to sell all your early game units, sharpshooters, brawlers, etc., and roll for a Chosen 4-cost, such as Ahri, Chosen Vanguard Sedge, or Aatrox. Ahri 2-star with 3 items, along with a mostly upgraded board, will stabilize you, allowing you to hit level 9. However, if you are too low, for example under 20 health after you roll down at 5-1, and you have some key units to still upgrade such as Sedge or Aatrox, then you should look to stay at level 8, donkey roll for those units, and play for top 4 instead. If you have a decent amount of gold, at least one Nico, and scouted the lobby to see if there's one or less Ahri players, then you can usually go for Ahri 3-star. Ahri 3-star is an amazing win con, but it's absolutely not necessary to win the game either. In my last guide, I made a note that Guardian Angel is essential in Ahri. Since then, I have completely flipped my opinion on it, and I think that GA is a subpar item on her. If you look at my LoL chest, I never have GA on Ahri. In my opinion, best in slot Ahri items are 2 damage items, Jeweled Gauntlet, Deathcap, Hand of Justice, Guinsoo's, and 1 mana item, Shojin or Blue Buff. Jeweled Gauntlet and Deathcap are the best damage items on her. Both Shojin and Blue are fine, but because Tyr is more valuable in the comp for making chalices, I usually make Shojin to use up a sword. If you have Guardian Angel, then you either need to cut a damage item, which is really bad because Ahri is basically your only damage carry in the comp, or you need to cut a mana item, which means it takes years for your Ahri to cast, and when she finally does, the rest of your comp is half health or lower. To ensure Ahri doesn't randomly die before she can cast, you run Zilean and Azir, which will offer more than enough protection for her. And you should have a backline ZZrot, usually on Thresh or Riven. Also, you should scout the lobby and position properly. Even if I don't have GA on Ahri, I don't remember the last time my Ahri died without casting once in the late game. Infinity Edge is fine as a second damage item, but only if you have Jeweled Gauntlet as your first damage item. Infinity Edge plus Deathcap, for example, does absolutely nothing. Having 1 damage item and 2 mana items is also fine if the damage item is a Jeweled Gauntlet or Deathcap, as the overall DPS should be around the same because Ahri is casting very frequently. But having 3 damage items and no mana items is really bad. At the starting carousel, I prioritize Rod, followed by Gauntlet/Tyr, followed by Vest/Cloak. Any bows or belts that you natural should be made into ZZrots. Extra Tyrs and cloaks make Chalices. Extra swords and belts make Zekes. Tank items go on Sejuani. AD items that you may get from late game creep rounds are pretty worthless, but the best option is probably putting them on Azir. Default positioning should look something like this. Ahri should be in the left or right corner, clumped up. Clumping is bad against other Ahri comps or Talon comps because of Morgana, but because neither of those comps is meta currently, it's fine to clump. Sedge plus Aatrox are frontlined. I usually place Yuumi behind Sedge and Aatrox because Yuumi will ult to heal one of them, then ult to Ahri, healing her and giving her attack speed, which is really important. Chalice and Zekes go on Azir or Zilean, whichever unit you find first, but if you can choose, probably Zilean because the mana will make him ult faster. With backline ZZrot and positioning like this, Ahri should never randomly die before casting her ult. Just make sure to scout for enemy assassins, shades, and sources of CC, such as Yone, Lux, Sejuani, Lee Sin, Cassio, Zephyr, etc. Try to position to avoid the CC. I actually find that positioning so that the assassins and shades jump to your clump is beneficial if you have a ZZrot. If they jump on your clump, they will target your ZZrot, Riven, or Thresh and be stuck on them. If they jump opposite of your clump, they will target your Azir and Zilean usually, which is much worse. Obviously, if you don't have backline ZZrot, then just position away from where the assassins or shades will jump. That's basically all the info about Ahri comps in 10.24 that I can think of. Thanks for watching, feel free to discuss, and have fun trying Ahri comps out. They are a lot better than people give them credit for currently.